On this episode of the podcast, we take a look at the movie 5 Feet Apart, directed by Justin Baldoni and written by Mikki Daughtry and Tobias Iaconis, starring Haley Lou Richardson, Cole Sprouse, Moises Arias, and Parminder Nagra. Welcome to He Said, She Said Movie Reviews. This is the podcast where a happily married couple with similar but different movie tastes take a quick look at the movies, helping you make the right decision before your next movie. I'm your host, Tim.
And I'm April.
So on this episode of the podcast, we saw the movie 5 Feet Apart. Both April and I give this movie a 3. We'll tell you all about it right after these two trailers.
Alrighty, the first trailer we saw was A Dog's Journey. A dog finds the meaning of his own experience through the lives of the humans that they meet. This looks really good, and it's written by Bruce Cameron, who wrote A Dog's Purpose and A Dog's Way Home, which I saw both. You've got Betty Gilpin in it, Jake Manley, and Dennis Quaid. It looks really good. Then you've got the second trailer we saw, Long Shot, when Fred Farsky reunites with his first crush, one of the most influential women in the world, Charlotte Field. He charms her as she prepares to make a run for the presidency. This movie looks so good. She ends up hiring Fred as her speechwriter, and sparks fly with Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this. And this is a Seth Rogen movie that he did not write. So anxious to see this one.
Well, me too, because I saw sparks fly in the previews. So it looks great.
Okay, so we saw 5 Feet Apart, and this is a movie that is about a pair of teenagers with a life-threatening disease meet in a hospital and fall in love. They have cystic fibrosis, and this is a movie where you get to learn a lot about cystic fibrosis. I had no idea how bad this disease is, and this movie certainly opened my eyes to this. This was directed by first-time director Justin Baldoni. First movie, he's done a lot of TV stuff, a lot of My Last Days, Jane the Virgin. And this was written also by a pair of first-time movie writers, Mikki Daughtry and Tobias Iaconis. And these two also have another movie coming out shortly, which we've already talked about in our trailers, and that's The Curse of La Llorona, a horror movie, which is completely different than this movie.
Right. I always love first times, writers, directors. I just think it's fun to kind of watch the process. Okay, the cast, I loved it. I love this girl. Haley Lou Richardson played Stella, who was the lead in the movie. Cole Sprouse played Will, who's from Sweet Life of Jack and Cody, and he's currently in Riverdale. Then you've got Moises Arias. He played Poe, and he was from Hannah Montana, so another blast from the past. And another little blast from the past was the doctor in there is from Bend It Like Beckham.
Parminder Nagra.
She's good.
And then, ER. She was also in ER, so.
Right. And I just want to say that although they don't give her any kind of top billing, there is a lady named Kimberly Gregory that plays Nurse Barb. She was amazing, completely amazing. I don't know if y'all remember, but she also was in 2.5 Men and a few other things, Tim, but I love her. Yeah.
Perfect runtime for April, right?
Yes, it was perfect.
It was 114 minutes, and it's below the April's 2-hour mark, so we're good there.
Right.
All right, let's talk about this movie. So I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to go see this movie. I thought this was going to be one of those movies full of teen angst, and I just really did not want to see this. I went there with this movie already being a 1 in my head, okay? So for me, this movie, I was pleasantly surprised, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
Well, I thought it was a good movie. It just, for me, and we're not going to spoil anything here, but it had too much tragedy in it for me. And I don't want to say any more than that.
Well, it was a movie with kids with a fatal disease. So.
Well, and I don't want everyone to be listening to this and think they know what happens at the end, because that's not necessarily. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I want to be careful. But I will say that Haley did an amazing job. She's a great actress.
I was really impressed by her.
Yeah. I thought she did good. My favorite relationship in the movie was between her, the patient, and Nurse Barb. I thought that was, and it just gave you a look into the life of someone with such a long-term illness and the relationships of people within the hospital that care for them, not just once or twice, but over the years.
Right. I don't think, this movie, like I said, we both give it a 3, which for us is we're saying that this movie was an average movie, which it was. There wasn't anything spectacular. The direction wasn't great. It wasn't bad. I don't even remember the score in the movie. Mm-hmm. Cinematography, once again, nothing spectacular there.
But the production design, there was some good things in the third act. I loved the snow, the lights in the winter. I thought that was good.
Yeah. Some good special effects. There's a couple times they had drawings come to life.
Yes.
And it makes sense in the movie because one of the times was when the main character, Stella, was going under for surgery, and she had already been anesthetized, and there was a drawing above her, and it came to life.
Yeah, that was
I thought
neat.
That was kind of a cool special effect.
Yeah. And as far as the pace, the first act was fast, second act dragged some. What'd you think about the third?
Yeah, the third act brought it all together, but yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think the middle act, the second act, was really slow. And our daughter, Hope, went with us to see this movie, and she was like, to her, it was amazing how quickly they came together in the first act and became a couple. She thought that was a little unrealistic. So I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah. And they had some chemistry. There were some moments of a little bit of chuckling. But again, I always enjoy relationships and watching characters develop in movies. And it was an interesting movie. It was. It wasn't.
Cole Sprouse, the guy who plays Will, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
That's okay.
But Cole Sprouse, the guy who plays Will from Sweet Life of Jack and Cody and stuff, he was just your typical moody teenage boy, kind of like an emo type of guy. Nothing spectacular there. Like I said, Haley Lou was the shining star of this movie.
And I thought Poe was great too. Moises, he did great.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else can I say about this movie? You always enjoy watching things with young love and friendships, and this current generation. I walked away realizing how many more avenues they have to communicate. I just always wonder if they're using them in the best way.
Well, that's interesting because you bring that up. I was thinking of that same thing. They made big use of FaceTime and instant messaging and all that other fun stuff that technology allows for. So they were able to have friendships without being closer than 5 feet apart.
Right. Right. So, anyway, it was a solid movie. It just, for me, other than being a little slow at times, and then, just the fact that there was a lot going on in this movie. And I think, simply put, there could have been just one or two things going on.
There are a lot better movies. If you're limited to one movie a month, you should wait for this one to come out on streaming or video on demand or whatever, and stay home and watch popcorn. There's some other movies out there that are a lot better than this movie.
I would agree with that. Also, there's a ton of them coming. I mean, you've got, so much coming. You've got Gloria, you've got the Avengers. Right, Tim? I mean, what else? There's tons.
A Dog's Journey and Long Shot.
Anyway, well, I just wanted to do a shout out. We have heard from a lot of you lately, and you keep asking if we're going to cover any other avenues of entertainment, meaning Netflix, Prime, just other avenues. Tim and I do love movies. We love miniseries, but for right now, we're sticking to the movies. That's our first love.
Hey, one thing, too, that I've been thinking about adding to the podcast is where we're going to start talking about the rating that the movie has, whether it's like PG-13 and whether or not it's, suitable for your teenagers to see or your younger kids to see. We thought we might add that in. Drop us an email. Let us know. Tim at hesaidshesaidmovies.com.
We appreciate your support so very much, and keep going to the movies.
And listen to the next episode where we cover the movie Captive State. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you at the movies.
We'll see you at the movies. Bye-bye.